Welcome back, welcome back. This is your boy Rasputin, aka Raspupu, and this is another chapter in the diary of a Moba player. Today I'm gonna go through this is a part one video of part one of two. I'm gonna be exploring Sparrow and why I believe that why I've been messing with different tank builds for her, because at the end of the day, Sparrow has no escapes unless you're playing with a team or a support that values the carry and is willing to peel and pocket the carry. Um, Sparrow has no real escapes. She has a slow in her queue, and that's about it. So you basically a sit and duck with Sparrow. You have to position well, but even positioning is not as simple because almost everybody has some type of dash or knockup. So even in this matchup, Bellica has a knockup. So it's like, and Kira has a dash. So the spacing it could be a little tricky. So we're gonna explore. I was experimenting with a particular type of tank build, one that compensated for the knockups and all that. Because I think with Sparrow, you just have to stand and fight. You can't really do too much. I wish that my support wouldn't be taking my farm like that, but shout out to my support for sticking with me through this. It wasn't an easy win, but we were able to get the win. So basically we're laning, trying to trade and lane at the same time, trying to poke, get them down. I decided to focus on the Bellica because she was the one that was stepping up. And if she would step up, then I would punish her, because my thing with Bellica as opposed to like a melee support. So like a melee support is... A melee support is more tanky. So early game, they could take some of the punishment. So like a steal or whatever, sometimes it might not make sense attacking the steal or the Richter because they can take the punishment. But what's his name? But Bellica is squishy. So I'm gonna, every time she steps up, I'm gonna punish her. Because if I don't, then it becomes kind of a tricky situation. I went to bother the Chimera because I know my support went back. Yeah, I should have let that fly, but I was like, I did actually. Yeah, but so my support went back, my Bellica went back, so I was like, alright, my Bellica goes back. I don't think I could contest the gold buff, so instead I went around to try and contest the camp that the Chimera was doing, just to make his life a little bit more difficult. This point I decided to back, and I'm pinging my my support to be safe, to be mindful, because I didn't want him to give up a easy death, unnecessary death. At this point, honestly, if you look at the minimap, my Bellica is too pushed up, I think, because it's easy for, we have it warded, but she already just blew her flash. So because she blew her flash, I don't think that it was safe to be there. Fortunately, the Chimera was on the other side of the map, but if the Fae had rotated, she might have got caught out and died. The way the Fae was playing, that was a really good trade onto the Kira though. That's the one thing about having Bellica as support. She does decent damage, and her mana, she doesn't need a lot. She does a lot with a little bit. So I will say this: the Faye tried to hard carry this team. So alright. So let me go back to the build. This build I'm doing, as you can see, I have the Titan Crest. I'm more trying to do like a Razorback type situation because I'm thinking, alright, I can't run. Right? I could do damage, but I'm going against a Chimera and a Grux. What would give me the most amount of survivability in this situation? So the Fae came. I didn't know what the Fae was gonna do. I was like, oh snap. So I ended up having the flash. Sadly, my Bellica couldn't. Did I die too? I don't remember if I did. Yeah, like, I might get the Fae. Your power grows. I was telling them to attack Fae, but they were focused on, you know, the Fae did get away. Okay, and my Bellica lived, which was good, so we just traded 1 for 1. And then I interrupted the Kai's back because I was like, alright, yeah, I'm gonna interrupt your back. This was risky, but like I said, as soon as the lane is clear, if it takes me down to a sliver of health, I'm gonna try to get the gold buff. Because to me, getting my economy up and running, then it's fine. Thankfully, the other Bellica didn't come check, otherwise that would have been a free kill for her. But, you know, I was able to get that and get out of there. The Grux even, which was wild to me, it's like the Grux even came to our lane. And I'm like, but then again, like I said earlier, my Bellica was too pushed up. And, you know, there was nothing I could really do about it. You know, you have to be mindful. I think I typed, was I gonna? Oh, I was like, all of them. Yeah, he said, my bad, wasn't expecting that Grux, which is true. But you gotta be mindful of that. And that's something I've mentioned on the Discord. It's like the fact that everybody could dogpile and there's nothing. Look, the Grux came all the way over to our lane, which is on the other side of the map. And the Steel can't even take the tower, and we're 8 minutes in. You know, you don't really get that much. The Steel might have been able to do a little bit, but the reality is you don't get that much. You really don't get that much. So I didn't think that, because I tried to not be in line with the Rampage, so I really didn't think that the knockup would hit the both of us, but somehow the Bellica managed to get the knockup to hit both of us. Which was a little wild to me, but whatever. Then the Rampage, the Jocelyn with the Fae. Again, no, that was the Chimera. Sorry. Because I know everybody kept rotating on us. And that's the other thing, like with Sparrow, other than your blink, what can you do in terms of rotation, you know? Thankfully, my Bellica's blink was back up. So she was able to escape that as well. But there's nothing I could do because Sparrow is a hyper carry. So early game is nothing you could really do about her. So I'm texting my team. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna get camped because it seems as though the higher level, I guess, players are. And my Rampage is kind of like sitting mid. And this is the thing, like we have a ward there. And this is my issue, right? So as you can see, as I'm jumping, we have a ward there. But I can't tell the health of the thing. Even if my Bellica goes in and looks, I still can't tell the health. I still can't tell the health of the what's his name? So I'm like, come on. Like this is something that they need to fix because it's like I'm trying to steal, but there's nothing I can do about it. You know, like there's nothing I could do. And I think that's something that they need to fix. Like I think that's broken because I shouldn't be able to see somebody's health all the way across the map, but I can't see an objective when the health of the objective when the ward is on it. Like that don't make no sense. So hopefully Omega changes that. Like that needs to change. because it's really like, come on now. Yeah, I didn't see her there, and I wasn't like I was just trying to tell him to be careful. Yeah. And I was like, all right, let me help her because in case she needs it. And then the Fae rotated.
Killing spree. Enemy tower under siege.
And I think resolution is a must for Sparrow, but the problem with resolution is that it takes away from your damage. The whole, you know, damage over 5 seconds, I think that's too long. Not even Infernum is over 5 seconds. Infernum is over 3 seconds. After 3 seconds, you get the damage, but for resolution, it's like you get damage over 5 seconds, and I'm like, there's no real way to mitigate that damage. So I'm just like, yeah, nah, that ain't it. That really ain't it. For some reason, the Chimera thought he was gonna invade a rampage in the jungle, and it was gonna work out well for him. So I think they were able to punish the Chimera here. I can't remember. No, I think he ended up running away.
Tower under attack.
So. Yeah, I was trying to console the rampage because it's like, and this again speaks to the infancy when it comes to MOBAs, because getting invaded as a jungler is part of the job. But it's like, because people don't do it that much, you know, it's like, wow, okay, I got invaded, that's sad. Yeah, I shouldn't have turned around. I should have just kept running. I should have just kept running. We were able to trade 1 for 1. And now I have resolution. At least I know I don't have to worry about mana issues. Yeah, because it restores 3% missing mana whenever you attack a unit. Doesn't have to be a hero. It's any unit. Yeah, the Fae was continually rotating, and then the gadget really wasn't helping either, because it's like the rampage dies and he goes, good job, and I'm like, why would you try to tilt your own teammate? I don't understand that. Like, I'll say something and I'll type something to you, but I don't think tilting your own teammate is the way to go, you know. Get that there, and I'm like, alright, yeah, you're there. Yeah, the Steel got it. I'm like, alright, Steel. He came up behind, but it's like, okay. I got it. I mean, there's nothing she could do. He could bob and weave as much as he want, but I had it, but, you know, the Steel wanted. Yeah, he's like, how they keep ganking me in jungle. I was like, because you don't have sweeper. Like, I checked and I realized he didn't switch his wards to sweeper, which is something that I think every jungler should do. Switch your wards to sweeper, you know, because you need to be able to see where the enemy vision is, and if you can see where the enemy vision is, then you could do something about it. But if you can't see where the enemy vision is, then there's nothing you can do about it. No, I was like, alright, don't make me. Let me just leave it alone. But again, like I had to I'm contending with my support for farm, and it's like why are we doing that? Why, please? I don't know who took the Fang. I know it wasn't a Rampage.
Double kill.
I know it wasn't a. Oh, the phase came in clean. The Fae came in cleaned up, and I was like, yeah.
Do something.
Yeah, I'm like, ugh. What can you do, right? Yeah, and I'm like, okay, so now. Oh, got it. I got it, but she got me. I didn't know she still had ult.
Tower is under attack.
I'm like, how did Faye still have ult? But you know, I still got her. And this is what I'm talking about. It's like, okay, Gadget is trying to push, but what pushing can you do mid lane as a support? I mean, as a support, as a mage, you can't really do a lot of pushing until mid to late. But early game, well, this is mid game. It's about 17, but still, you can't do a lot of pushing because mages don't do a lot of damage to towers. Their auto attacks are not that strong. So it's like, for me, it's like, okay, we gotta do something about that because Faye was literally fighting in dual lane for the longest, and it's like, all right, well, what are we gonna do about that? Yeah, and I left it for Belica to get because she needed the mana. I don't really need the mana. Once I have resolution, I don't really need mana. But you traded off for this horrible dark damage. You need to change that. The dark damage is ridiculous. So I wanted to go check and see if gold buff was up, but it wasn't. It was already taken. And then at this point, Gadget is talking about rotating, and I'm like, all right, let's lure them in. Let's see if we can get them, you know what I mean? Let's see if we can get them into this. Let's see what we could do. Make it hard for them to, you know. There we go. Now we got everybody there. I'm like, get the carry. Get the carry. Thank you. Because everybody's worrying about the support, and I'm like, who cares about the support? Like, get the carry. Now we're doing that. Now we gotta focus on the. I don't know where the Rampage is going. I'm like, bro. Chimera's over here. The Fae is coming soon. So we gotta get out of dodge. The Fae is coming soon. No, she decided to stay. Okay. See, at this point, we should have grouped and taken the tower, but it didn't work out that way. That's not something that a lot of players, the concept that a lot of players are familiar with. And then with, yeah, see, I'm pinging retreat because it's like,
Allied towers destroyed.
but the Rampage ain't listening. And I'm like, can I help him? Maybe. Then the Fae flashed the two of us, and I'm like, damn, bro. Yeah. Because now she's not considering the Rampage anymore. She's trying to fight me. And I'm like, damn, I should have just left the Rampage to die. Because it's like, I told him to retreat. I saw the Fae come into the lane. The Fae is already carrying their team with the most amount of kills. And I'm like, yeah, and it's like, okay, you're already complaining that they invaded you in jungle and all this other stuff, but you're still not listening to the pings. And I'm like, alright, this guy's something else. So.
Enemy towers destroyed.
Inner fire ready.
So then I was like, alright, let me go get Unbroken. Because the Belica has CC and the, yeah, they got her. Belica has CC and the thing has CC. The phase has CC and they both hurt. So I'm like, alright, let me go get Unbroken. I don't know what my my thing was trying to do. I'm like, bro, that wasn't it either. My support, I'm like, yeah, nah, that's not something we should be doing. Because it's like, okay, you flank, but you flank a Faye, Kira, and a Bellica, like you're asking to die. Especially when the Faye is the one that's carrying their team. Like, wasn't really the Kira. So I'm like, okay, I don't wanna. They backed off. And the Grux again is rotating, and I'm like, oh, my Bellica is done for. Not really, kind of. She was able to flash out. That's what I was thinking at the time. But we needed to contest, but our Rampage is just sitting there in base. Like, what is going on? Look at the Faye, look at the Faye, look at the Faye. Boom. Dead. 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 And now coming after me now. I'm like, damn. I gotta open up on this. But then she had, what's his name? And I was hoping. Yeah, I was hoping. Well, the steel, I think the steel helped. The steel helping really helped out. Because I was hoping, I was like, please. And then the steel was able to finish it off.
Allied towers destroyed.
I wonder how the steel got that hit, that kill. See, he wasn't even there, but whatever. Maybe it had to do with his Razorback. Maybe, because he had Razorback at that point. So we get the kill on the Faye, and I'm like, we need to do the objective. We need to do Fang. Come on. The Faye is down. Faye is coming back now, but we need to do this. We need to get this done. We need to do it. And the Chimera comes in, and they all come back. And I'm like, I'm hoping Rampage has, but you know. And then it was just it. The Chimera came and walked right up to me. I knew he was gonna jump on me. I was like, okay, Chimera's just gonna jump on me. I'm like, all right, it is what it is. At least we got the objective. We were able to fight a score, and then the Faye come and kill everybody. And I'm just like, then I had to look at my team, and I'm like, wait, hold on, is anybody building magic resist? And I'm like, can y'all please build some type of magic resist? Because I'm the only person on the team with magic resist, and I'm the carry, and I'm not supposed to have magic resist. I'm really supposed to build all damage. If it's anybody that shouldn't have magic resist is me, yet I'm the only person on the team with magic resist. So this is to all my players who play MOBAs. Please, if you're going against somebody that does a lot of magic damage, build magic resist. There's enough items in the game to allow you to build magic resist. And I'm looking at Rampage, and I'm like, you're not even building tank, you're building bruiser. And I'm like, why, bro? Why? Like, the minute you die, you should be like, all right, how can I mitigate some of this damage? But apparently, I mean, again, it just shows to how infantile the thought processes are. I shouldn't say infantile. I don't want to be disrespectful. It shows how new that a lot of people are to MOBAs, because they don't think about, everybody just thinks about building damage, and it's like, and then he was like, he look at this. He goes, I go, can y'all please build some type of magic resist so y'all stop getting one shot? And then Gadget goes, that's kind of what phase point is. And I'm like, I had to hit him back with, that's kind of what magic resist is for. Because as a mage, you have the whole, I forgot the name of the item, but there's a item that gives you magic resist, a magic item that gives you magic resist, and it also gives you a bubble that prevents against the initial did I get this? I think no. And he dashed away, so it didn't make sense chasing. But yeah, there's an item that gives you magic resist, and it also protects you against the first ability that you get hit with. I forgot the name of it. Let me look it up right now. The item is, When I used to play Bellico, I used that item a lot. The item is Spellbreaker. Spellbreaker. So it was wild to me that my gadget didn't build Spellbreaker. I'm like, you're going against Safei. Why aren't you building Spellbreaker? And then, yeah, there was nothing really I could do about that. I felt sad about it, but there's nothing I could really do. Yeah, that's the thing that I was like, okay, you wanna shoot? That's fine. You wanna come up? You wanna walk up? You wanna do that? You wanna do that? Really? You wanna? Okay. And then the Fae came and I'm like, oh, I'm dead. Yeah, there's nothing I could do. Fae rotated. Yep. So that blew my mind because I'm like, nobody's building magic resist. Look, let me pause it, right? So I have magic resist. I've had magic resist third item. The Rampage is now building magic resist. The gadget build no magic resist at all. The Steel actually had a magic resist item, a completed item, which makes sense because he's the one with the lowest KDA. He only had 2 deaths. And the Bellica, no magic resist item. And I'm like, the gadget especially, second item should have built Spellbreaker. Because, as I always say, you could build damage, but if you get one shot, you're not doing no damage because you're dead. And being dead, you're not living to give damage. So it's just wild to me. I'm like, come on, y'all. Like, but, you know, I'm part of Team No Tilt. So even though what they did was tilting,
Allied tower under.
I decided I'm not going to get tilted. I'm not going to let it tilt me. We're going to still win this. And I'm like, why are you even trying to fight this chick? Cause, like, what are you even trying to do?
An enemy is heroic.
Like, oh god, that was just so, it was so, like, and then somebody there to protect her, so she chunk you all the way down, you can't even chase her properly, and she got a kill on him. And I'm just like, are you serious, bro? Like, are you serious? I don't know if they were a team, if like they were, you know, a thing, but it just was like, oh my god.
An enemy has fallen.
And I was like, there's too many minions for me to even do anything. Yeah, a little bit of damage mitigation will go a long way, and a lot of people don't see that. So I'm just like, okay.
An allied inhibitor is under attack.
I don't even know what he said because I was so busy with the game. I was like, let me see what this guy said. Wait, let me go back and see what the Grok said. I'm curious now. Not the Gruks, I'm sorry. I'll go over there. Rampage said, yes, magic resist is a tank thing. The fuck? They have 2 magic damage people on their team. Yeah, so if they have 2 magic damage people on their team, fam, you should be building magic damage. Magic resist from the jump instead of it being your third item. Like, I never understood that. And the Groks wanted to squabble, and I was like, alright, let's squabble. I'm squabbling. You know? So I could have used my Razorback there, but I didn't want to waste Razorback on Groks, because I was saving Razorback for Fae. I said magic damage. I meant magic resist. As you guys can see, I'm not the best typer. I mean, you know, you gotta cut me some slack. I'm 38, about to be 39. Oh my god. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I almost tilted. I was frustrated this game, but I didn't tilt because I'm part of Team No Tilt. But yeah, I got Unbroken Will. So now if I get CC'd, it ups not only my magic resist, but my damage, what was magic and what's the other one? I forgot the other one. But basically it up both my resistances, both my armor and my magic resist. Yeah, my armor. That's what it is. It's not auto attack resist. It's armor. It ups both. So you basically get a 2-for-1. And then I'm like, alright, don't do that. Get this guy. Right. Thankfully the Fae ult missed. I was like, thank God. For once the Fae ult missed. But at this point the Fae is level 17 and I'm like, holy. This Fae is level 17, fam. This is when I should have thing, but he was just backing up and I'm like, it doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. It didn't make sense to do it because I wasn't in range. You know? So what can I do? So then I was like, alright, I'm gonna need more than just Unbroken to survive the Fae combo. So I'm like, alright, let me go for Absolution next. So Absolution was my next item. So it was Resolution, then Bone. Bone is very good for Sparrow, I think. Bone is probably, I would say, a must-have. Because what Bone Sword does, it gives her tankiness in form of health. Health tankiness, as well as... Yeah, go around. By the time you go around, I think it's out. Gotcha. Yeah, but it gives her tankiness in the form of health. As well as on hit, and then I'm like, dang, the Chimera is coming for me too, bro. Like, ooh. But then the Chimera backed off. And I'm like, everybody's coming. I'm like, we gotta get out of here. Cause you see the Grux is coming, the Fae is coming. I'm like, yeah, we gotta get out of here. But thankfully nobody did. It didn't turn into a brawl, cause I didn't think we were ready for it. We were ready for a brawl. I think, no, everybody had their ult up at least. Another thing I don't know why I don't see a lot of gadgets build is that item that gives slow. It's like, oh, I don't have a tower. At first I was like, alright, defend under tower, and then I looked and I was like, oh, I don't have a tower. And I'm like, dang, quarter my health already? And this time, I will admit, I forgot to pop my Razorback. I did. I forgot to... Wait, did I get her? I did! But I still died. I should have popped my Razorback a lot earlier. That's what I should have done, to be honest. If I'm being honest. We did trade, but I messed up. Because, again, I'm still not accustomed to your crest, everything being inactive. It's just... I'm still learning that. Even though I have the mouse for it, too, which is sad. But, yeah, I was like, alright. Let me pop Razorback. I think if I had popped Razorback earlier, I would have lived through that fight. Because I didn't think... Because there's nothing she could do. The thing with Fae, this is the thing that I think Razorback Sparrow works, especially against a Fae. If you're countering a Fae, is the fact that... Back up, my guy. It's the fact that Razorback Fae works because Razorback Sparrow works because Fae has no control over her damage, and it's sustained high damage because when she puts down her flower, the one that does the AOE that does a lot of damage, and she puts down the thing, you could basically walk up and down in that, and the Razorback will continually give damage on her. So there's a point in this game where I'm like, okay,
Allied tower under attack.
I should have put on Razorback and just walked in her ability and it would have killed her. Even though she's like, she flashed away and she got away. I was like, I should have put on Razorback and walked, but I wasn't thinking about that because I was still kind of partially fighting the urge to tilt because of my teammate and, you know, other stuff. I'm like that. See, look, again. And I'm like, okay, what are you doing, bro? Did I do this one? No. Did I? And then she thinks, see this? Right here. This is it. So the gadget landed a bomb on her. What I should have done was turn on Razorback and just stay in the ability. At this point, the Razorback would have done enough damage so that the gadget thing would have killed her. The thing I don't understand about gadget though, and gadgets in general, you have an AoE that's this big thing. So I turn on thing, but I still die because I was too low health. The thing I don't understand about gadgets is the gadgets do not build Dreambinder. And the reason why I say that is because they have a big ult that they put down and Dreambinder slows. So if you put the ult over somebody, it will take them longer to get out of your ult, so you do more damage. But I don't see gadgets building Dreambinder at all. I don't know why. Maybe that's something I'll have to test out and see if it's worth it. So now I have Absolution, and I have what's that other thing? I keep forgetting stuff, guys. My memory is horrible. I have Absolution.
Enemy tower under siege.
I have Absolution, and I have Absolution and Unbroken Will. Those are my two. And I think Unbroken goes well with the Razorback. So I'm like, all right, I think I'm okay now, kinda. My next item was gonna be, I thought about Nightfall. I couldn't remember what my next item was gonna be. I was like, no. Then I needed some type of thing, so I was gonna build probably armor item. Citadel, I think, is really good. I really do think Citadel is really good. I think Perforator is good for Sparrow too, because again, you want her slows to slow. So I think Perforator is really good. You know, and with Perforator ability slow, and Sparrow has a big AoE slow. So if her AoE ability slows, then her slow slows. Which I know sounds repetitive, but that's really what you want. You want the slow to slow, because her slow doesn't do that much, and that's my thing with Sparrow. Like, I guess she's a hyper carry, but her slow doesn't really slow, and she has very low base movement speed, so it's like, you know, you really have no form of appeal for yourself. Like other people have dashes, and Murdoch has a trap that actually roots, and he has a little speed boost in his stim pack. Drongo has a silence, so even though he might not, you know, he does have a slow. He has a slow on his thing. This is when I used it. I was like, let me open up, and I remembered to turn on my Razorback this time. Yeah, and it just demolished her. So I was like, yeah, I think I didn't execute the build well,
Enemy has fallen.
but I think it's a solid build for Sparrow. And then I was able to get the Bellica too. So I'm like, all right, I got you now. Yeah, that ain't working for me. Yeah, it's alright. And that was the turning point because we were able to get that. And this is why, again, the way the game started off, you would never think that we would be in this position, right? But this is why you don't give up on MOBAs, because it's a ebb and flow. It's like a seesaw. There's ups and downs. There's ebbs and flows, and we were able to capitalize off of them getting wiped as a team and get them in here. You know, I don't know what the heck my Rampage is doing. It's like, it's so frustrating because I'm looking at my Rampage and I'm like, bro, why are you in the jungle taking camps? Like, you could take the camps after we take the inhibs. Like, we could take the inhibs, the super minions start coming, and then you could turn around and take the camps. But that wasn't his idea. So as we were about to go to get thing, they decided to forfeit. So I think the Fae got tired of carrying the team, because look at the Fae. The Fae's team, the Fae was 21-6-1. His offlaner was 1-8. His carry was 4-6. His jungler was 2-7, and the support was 3-4. So the Fae really was the only one carrying that team. Like, it was a solo carry. Shout out to the Fae for it. Shout out to my team too. I mean, my Bellica and my Steel, not Bellica, I'm sorry. My Bellica did good too. She had 10 assists, but really even though I did not like his build, my Gadget and my Steel really did their thing. Especially my Steel. My Steel was 5-2-15. My Steel really did his thing. Me, I was 8-7-12. According to ELO standards, because if you check the ELOs, I think if I remember correctly, the Chimera, the Bellica, and the Fae were all quote unquote high level. So this was a game I shouldn't have done so well on, it being 8-7-12. But again, ELO is shit. It's garbage. Don't listen to it, because we're not in a solo duo environment. Anyway, that's it. That's all. Thank you guys so much for this. Is part 1 of my Tank Sparrow series. Part 2 coming soon. Thank you guys so much. Please, if you like my content, if you made it this far, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys for tuning in for another chapter in the diary of a Moba player, my diary. My name is Rasputin, Raspupu. Love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.